All right, so in this video, we're going to talk about mean and standard deviation, and we're going to talk about the normal distribution. Um, basically, every set of data kind of has its own shape, and we talked about how some things can be skewed left or skewed right, or they can be symmetrical about the mean. And so the normal distribution kind of is something that comes up, and it's data that's just kind of distributed in a certain pattern. And so the normal distribution has an equal mean, median, and mode. So if I were to graph the data on a plot similar to this one, this middle line here would be representative of all of the measures of center, mean, median, and mode. It has symmetry about the center, so 50% of data is on both sides, and then same thing, 50% of values less than the mean and 50% of the values are greater than the mean. And I forgot to say, don't worry about writing things down quite yet. We'll get to a slide here and you can write some things down. I just want to kind of talk about this real quick. So when you calculate the standard deviation, generally 68% of values are within one standard deviation of the mean. So 68% are either to one standard deviation to the left or one standard deviation to the right of the mean. Okay, 95% of values are within two standard deviations, and 99.7% are within three standard deviations of the mean. So notice that's pretty close to all of the data, but there's just a really small amount that would be outside of that. So here's kind of the slide that you should, or what you should see kind of on your paper. And you can go ahead and start writing some of those things down. I'm going to keep talking a little bit here. This graphic here on the bottom kind of shows what we were talking about. 68% of the area is within two standard deviations, 95% within one, 95% within two, 99.7% within three. Up here, it kind of breaks it down a little more for you, so it kind of tells you what percent is in each little kind of chunk or each range. So 19.1% of the data is within 0.5 standard deviations of the mean. And so it kind of breaks it down for you just a little bit more there. You can kind of see how those numbers play out. Okay, so how this works is that this area underneath the curve and those percentages are kind of our probabilities. And so if something's normally distributed, if it's within one standard deviation of the mean, then there's a 68% chance that a randomly selected person would be in that category. Or if you chose a random person and you're wondering what's the probability that they'll be within two standard deviations, there's a 95% chance. And so 100% of the data is under that curve, and it's kind of that same idea that we talked about, where basically it's a continuous probability model. And so picking a point underneath that curve, you can kind of figure out its probability based on the area of that section, okay? All right, so based on kind of all of that, I want you to try these before class problems. I'm not going to go through any examples, but I want you to just see if you can kind of figure these three out before class. So go ahead and get those done before I see you on Friday.